Hey guys, this is Josh from Midnight Auto Repair coming back to you. Well, I wanted to actually do a video this time. Well, because last time I told you guys, the video I did, it wasn't really meant to be a video. It was meant to be kind of a friendly reminder, but you guys liked it so much, I decided what I'm going to do is I am actually going to take the original oil filter I have from this truck. We have no idea how many miles are on it. Cut it open and compare the original oil filter to the one that had the Restore and Protect in it, just to see, is the original filter sludged up as bad as the Restore and Protect oil filter, or is it clean? Because that would show us a difference between, did it actually, the Restore and Protect do all the work, or was the engine already throwing stuff out like that? So stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're back on finger point mode, and well, I've laid a piece of plastic over the engine bay here because, well, I don't feel like dragging used motor oil in the house. Next week's video, though, I will tell you, is going to be from the house because it's going to be 100 degrees here in eastern North Carolina. And, well, I've got a filter cut open for you guys. I'm going to compare some Napa Gold filters to its actual comparable Motorcraft 505S. So if you're interested, subscribe and we will go from there. But I wanted to bring in the original filter here. And this is the one that you guys saw in the preview. I haven't thrown it away yet because I kind of wanted to dismantle it and see, let's get an idea of how to pull it apart. But, you guys could see here, it's sludged up. And now that it's been sitting a few days, it's almost like tar. Actually, a few days, it's been 2 weeks, but it's almost like tar. So I'm going to see if I can't get this cut apart so we can see more of what's going on in here. But I'm going to go and grab the original MicroGuard filter that this truck came with when I got it. Now, the oil that's in it looks deceptively clean, but that's mostly because it's 2 quarts of transmission fluid that was thrown in there. Because I tried to, it had a nasty lifter tick to it when I got it, and I tried to clean it out the old school way, ATF. That's what I've always done. But what we're going to do is I'm going to get this thing set up. I'm going to go grab my cutter, and we're going to cut this thing open live in front of you. That way we can compare it to the other one, and I'm going to see if I can't get the other one cut open. And we'll try to get an idea of how this engine ran before Restore and Protect and how it ran after. So hang loose for a second. All right, guys. So what I got here is one of these Amazon filter cut open tools. Now, normally this is where I plug and say, hey, check my Amazon affiliate, but I ain't got one. I'm just going to tell you, it's a nice product to have, especially if you do your own oil changes and you're genuinely concerned about looking at stuff like this, because it really does make things nice and easy. So I'm going to go through in real time, take this. These things are super simple, by the way. It's just a pipe cutter for the most part. And what it does is, you just gently do a couple turns, squeeze it a quarter turn. Gently a couple turns, squeeze it a quarter turn. And eventually, when you do that, you will get to a point where you'll hear it start to crinkle as it lets loose. Like, you can kind of start to hear it now. We're pretty darn close to it being cut all the way open. In fact, yeah. There we go. And that was real time. So it only takes about 30 seconds or so genuinely cut one of these things open. And now I'm going to put this over here for a second so I can kind of clean up my workspace. And we are going to pull this thing out of here. So making sure that you guys can see where we're at. I'm going to pull off the anti-drain back valve, which is on this old premium guard. It's just rubber. Nothing fancy about it. And see if I can't dig this filter out of its housing without gacking myself open. Man, not really much of a thick housing on this thing, is there? Well, I guess hang loose. I gotta get a little flathead screwdriver. All right, so we're back. I'm gonna see if I can't get a little bit of a screwdriver lip under this thing to drag it out from this housing. Because, man, it's a tight fit. Also, what I can see, this filter is ugly. Ooh, holy jeebus. So that's been on there a while. Guys, it literally just disintegrated. You see? Wow. Well, let's see if we can dig what's left of this thing out of here. There's the perforated cone. Wow. So I'm going to believe that this filter has gone well over 20,000 miles. Look, like it's not sludgy, but it's just the material's falling apart. So yeah, I'll it's like glued itself down to the base of this thing. But it's not full of sludge chunks like I expected it to. But man, look at it. It's just falling apart. Guys, I meant for us to get a good apples to apples comparison, but man, this is just, it's not full of sludge. It's just disintegrating. This is one of probably the worst filters I've ever seen. Crap. Well, um, you saw it here first in real time. I pulled it out and it literally just disintegrated. So, doesn't matter how good the filter is. Eventually, they got to be changed because this one says it's a microguard, maximum efficiency, maximum protection. And honestly, I think it gave its all on this one. So I'm this is kind of a bust, but now we see why we change filters regularly. You know, every time you do an oil change, what's it really hurting? So hang loose. We'll at least get to the other one and cut it open. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So we're back, and well, I guess we got our answer on that last filter because it had been in there so long and was so used that it was brittle. I mean, like, you know, an oil filter is cellulose normally, and normally it's pretty forgiving. But that one just disintegrated as it came out of there. This one, on the other hand, is the AC Delco filter, and this one is actually I think Champ Filters makes these for AC. So this is one of those ones that's got that E core to it, you know, plastic core. I'm gonna try to get this thing cut apart to the point where we can roll it out and see how bad it actually is. So yeah, you see, that's how a filter's supposed to be. When you pull on them, it's not disintegrating, it's not breaking into chunks. So I'll be doing a better video of cutting filters apart next week because it's going to be hot. I'm going to work from the, I guess we're going to call it the home office. But in this case, man. And what I'll do is I'm going to roll it out like that. That way we can kind of, you can see in the veins. This filter has 2,700 miles on it. And it is just, you get up in there, you can see it's filled with sludge and carbon in all of the pleats. And it's not good. But this clearly tells me, though, the Valvoline Restore and Protect was the thing that loosened up all of this. Because the other filter, even in the pleats that are broken, it's thoroughly worn out. There's nothing good in it, but there wasn't chunks of sludge. I don't see any. Uh, there are a couple of glittery, glittery pieces. If you guys can see that on camera, so it's loosened up a bunch of stuff. So, and you see, we get to the sludge down here. It's literally the consistency of like road tar. So, yeah, again, another short, sweet, to the point video, but now we know that this engine, first off, that was genuine neglect by how bad that filter was that I pulled off. I don't know if you guys saw in my last video, but this thing had 189,000 miles on it was the last oil change sticker. And it had 220 on it when I got the truck. So I didn't know if somebody had just not changed the sticker, but clearly that filter has been along for the entire ride. And well, if that's the case, it's been there for 31,000 and some change. Don't do that to your engine, guys. Oil filters and oil are cheap. You know, they're easy to maintain. If you feel like you need an oil change, get an oil change. You're not hurting anything by doing it too soon. But if you're going to use Valvoline Restore and Protect, uh, let it at least try to run, 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles before you really start getting overly concerned. I ran to a point where it was 2,700 miles before I had an issue. But you've got to give the product time to work. If you just put it in there and then you change it out in 400 or 500 miles, you kind of dismissed it before it had a chance to really get going. And yeah, it'll have some, qualities of being dark. It'll pull some of the carbon out, but for the most part, oil turns dark pretty quick in an engine because there is carbon, there is blow by, there is many reasons why an oil would darken early. But with a cleaning oil like this, I mean, it's a fully SP rated oil, so it's designed to be in there for the long run. In this case, it just needed changed out early because, well, it had a lot to make up for, clearly. But guys, this is this is where I'm kind of going to leave you. Is it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It pulled all the crap out of the filter. This I wanted to show you too, as I was kind of starting to throw this stuff away from the microguard there. This is a nitrile rubber anti-drain back valve, if you guys can see it. And it is petrified. It is stiff. It's like leaving a piece of plastic out in the sun. So this thing also really wasn't doing its job anymore. And this is just pure neglect. Plain and simple, pure neglect. This is out of the old engine, or not old engine, but the previous before I had gotten the vehicle. And this is the start of trying to right the wrongs of the past on this one. So I guess I'll kind of get some things wrapped up here and then we'll get back to you. So hang loose. Well, guys, that was a little different than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting the original filter to just disintegrate. I figured we'd have a little fun, cut them open, and check the pleats on each one. But you got another good video out of this one. You got what a filter looks like after 30,000 miles of just absolute neglect. And if you're interested in that kind of stuff, guys, give me a thumbs up. give me a give me a like. It really doesn't cost you. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out. And drop a comment because I want to see if you guys enjoyed this one as much as you enjoyed the last one. Um, Next week is going to be PGI Napa Gold versus Manhummel Napa Gold, and then I got a Ford 505S to go with that one too. So should be an interesting video, just cutting them open and comparing what you actually see inside. So, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you're informed. See you on the next one.